apologize because I know that I'm going to say something or a bunch of things that are going to be impossible to interpret. So good luck. So those are the sort of thank yous I want to do. Now, one of the things that I wanted to do as well, because openness has come up a few times over the past day and a half. So I do want to just take a moment, and I think that, do I get a pointer on this? No, I don't. And I'm not tall enough to actually point at any of these things. But you will notice directly above me a little symbol here, and that's a symbol that's a Creative Commons license tag. And this particular tag is a Creative Commons attribution. So basically, what I'm doing is saying that all of the stuff in this slide, you'll notice I don't have any branding from the university on it or anything like that, is absolutely available for your use. That is, as creator of this, I am not reserving any rights except for being attributed. So you can take this if you so choose, you can use it. If you can figure out a way to make a few dollars on it, good on you. That's great. I'd love to learn how you did it. But you're more than welcome to take it. And because I am reserving no rights aside from attribution, you can take it, you can convert it, you can translate it, distribute it, do whatever you want with it. So that's a Creative Commons tag. Here in this corner is a tag that's basically a certification. This has been approved for free cultural works, which means that you have basic freedoms when you use it. You have the freedoms to use it for study, distribute it any way that you like, and to make derivative works. So once again, you can create a derivative work through translation and then redistribution. So that's what that means. Now you'll also notice right in the middle a little guy. And that little guy is the same little guy that's there. So on every single slide you'll find him. And he'll be able to, and what it'll do is he'll point you to a license that describes what your rights are, or what rights I've assigned to you, or transferred to you. So I just wanted to bring that up because I know it's been mentioned a few times, and it's mentioned in sort of in very broad ways. So whenever you see the goodness of a Creative Commons tag, the approved for free cultural works tag, you know that you're safe using it, redistributing it. It's all within the law, so you can enjoy that. I also wanted to mention as well for this presentation, it's going to be very text heavy in the slide deck. I won't speak to everything in the slides, but the idea is that this will be made available. Hussam can talk about it. I can also make it available. And so I've designed it so if you grab it, if you're interested in it, you can read it almost as if it's a very light paper. I mean, you should be able to read through it. The last half, like 10 slides, are just links to resources. In addition, there are some resources that don't have links. That means that they're not online. I have distributed them all to Hussam as well, and he can make them available. So there's a whole bunch of resources. If you so choose to use them, they'll be there and you'll be available. Last thing I'll mention before going into this is just a little bit of background, because I was asked to make this as practical as possible, or at least rely on my experience. So I'd like to provide just a teeny bit of background just so you'll get an idea of, well, what my perspective is on it. I'll mention that I'm at the University of Southern Queensland right now. I serve as Deputy Vice Chancellor for Academic Services, which includes library services, central ICT, so enterprise information systems, everything from Oracle, paying checks to come to the running payroll and all of that sort of stuff, all the way to educational technologies, our virtual learning environments, easy proxy servers for library systems, so on and so forth. It also includes our learning and teaching support programming, which would be like learning design, professional development, self-help related things, and so on and so forth. So it kind of covers that spectrum of things. In that role, I'm also CIO, so I'm responsible for the governance of our information systems, how we manage, closer? Oh, okay, closer. And so on and so forth. So that type of thing. Really, the division looks at how the university can be thought of or conceived of in terms of data, information, knowledge creation, so on and so forth. So that's a little bit about my background. Very briefly, though, before that, I was the CEO of UMass Online, which is the online division for the University of Massachusetts. Before that, I served as the executive director of Penn State World Campus. Penn State, or Pennsylvania State University, is a big land-grant university on the kind of the east coast of the U.S., and they have a distance education campus called the World Campus. It stands as one of their traditional campuses. Well, it's a non-traditional campus. But in any event, a lot of that is just some background. I've basically served for years now as a academic or as a university manager, sort of running relatively large divisions in traditional universities, but parts of universities that sort of behave in non-traditional ways or do non-traditional things. Which brings us right back to the title of this section of the presentation of the day, which has to do with e-learning in traditional universities. So anyway, what I'm going to do is just sort of go through this a little bit. I'm going to try to rely on some examples, which hopefully everyone will find or someone will find interesting. So the main topics that we're going to be that we should be touching on, only we're going to touch on them at with different depth, is basically I'm kind of taking it seriously, the idea of policy.